Justin here with the Atlanta Brick Co. and I'm here doing something a little different today. I'm going to share a little secret with you, something that has been requested in the comments and also by people in the store, fellow employees. They want to know how I did the stained glass on the Batman bank.
Stained glass, so pretty. And even with the one head, the light above us doesn't, if we had all the lights out, it would totally shine even more. Look at that, isn't that awesome? The stained glass just looks so cool.
I'm going to take you through and show you how I did this. It's actually not that complicated. I won't say it's simple because you do have to offset some things and do some snot construction. So this video probably won't be very long. Maybe we'll make this a series. We'll call it To Make a Mockery. I think mock stars is already taken. We like to mock hard. To make a mockery, yes. M-O-C, see what I did there? My mom said I'm clever. This may be the first and last in a series of To Make a Mockery. If you guys like this, please let me know. If there's any techniques you want to see done, we'll definitely get Mockmaster Mark and John and Angie down here too to explain how they do some of their things. But for now, we're going to talk about the stained glass because a lot of people wanted to see how that works. So let's take you in close and I'll show you how I did this wacky little design. First of all, you start out with whatever you're building upon. I just chose that plate there for this. I chose a lot of wacky colors for this demonstration so that you could better see what I was doing. If it was all black or gray, then you might lose some of the detail. You have to turn these fence pieces sideways like that. Of course, that's with the snot technique. Now, here's what's tricky about this. If you didn't already know this, to make regular Lego bricks line up with snots, you have to put two plates in between. They don't line up if you just stack them one on top of the other. So it has to be snot, two plates, snot. Brick, 2/3 of a brick, and then another brick. Then the pieces will actually line up as they're supposed to. And that's a technique that you can use to offset them if you wanted to. Like I have them at the top, but you also can put them lined up like that if you wanted to. It depends on what you're going for in the space you're filling up. For me, I wanted these two to sit flush against each other and as close as possible. Now, there is a space in between. It'd be nice if they connected together all the way, but the way it sits, the length of these, they don't sit. So I chose the black fence piece, but you could choose anything you wanted. You could experiment with doing this if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to do a skinnier one, choose these fence pieces if you had some of those lying around. So you line up two in a row. That's how I did mine. Snot, plate, plate, snot. And then this bottom one is only connected by one snot because I needed this inverted slope to frame it on that side. So if you're copying my design exactly, then it would be snot, plate, plate, snot, plate, regular 1x1, inverted slope, snot, regular 1x1. That's my technique, and it's mirrored on the other side. There's different arches you can use. We've got that. If you wanted to make a very large, a much wider stained glass window, you could use these. I felt like this was a good size. It's the 1, 2, 3 by 3 arch. It does make it an odd size though, because this width to fill in the stained glass is now 5 studs across and not an even 4 or 6, but that's what you got to do. Just repeat on both sides, and then once this comes out, you can make this nice arch here. On the Batman bank, I had a panel hanging down with the studs on the side and put a Batman symbol there, but here I'm just putting this. You can do whatever you want. You could put a stud there or a plate or whatever decorative thing you wanted. That is how I started. Now to put the stained glass, you need something like this. I just grabbed a bunch of whatever trans we had and I tried to break it up with some plates. You might want to make yours more random than this or choose specific colors, or maybe you want to use all 1xs and have like just 2 or 3 colors. I just chose this because it was quick and it was random just to illustrate how I did it. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studs across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studs down with 2 layers of plates. So again, another odd size, but the reason why it's like that is so it lines up with what you can see through the arch. So you put this down here, like so. So there is 1 plate on the bottom, and that's not just to hold this together, it's actually for spacing, because these fence pieces have to come off, because otherwise they'll hit the studs and they won't actually sit correctly. Then you put this in front, bam, like that. And then the final piece is to cover up this bottom. And I'm just gonna use this crazy purple plate. It lines up perfectly to have a stud in the middle. And I used, any long skinny piece will work, but I used a spear, and we had this awesome trans neon yellowish green. I have 1 regular stud there just to lift up to the proper height. I think on the Batman building I actually just used 2 of these, and then 2 of these studs with a hole in it. So the reason why I did this is to cover up that seam. I did not like that you saw that these did not connect. So I used a black spear and just stuck it in like that, and that is my stained glass window. Let's get some light through it so you can get the proper look to it. So it looks pretty good once it's lit up. Doesn't look like much without it. I feel like this fence was the best option, like I said, because the diamond-shaped crosswire just made it look like stained glass. Of course, you don't have to do it this way. Lego has given us some stained glass before. This is from an old castle set. This is a printed piece. This may not be a piece younger viewers recognize, but this would go in a piece like this, and it would rotate. It has a little barb connection on the top and bottom, and it just rotates through like that. Allows you to do that, and it has studs right here. I believe Elves gave us this one. So those aren't too hard to come by. This one is kind of hard to come by. This was from early 2000s Castle line. But you could use this for stained glass. This came in a older Disney princess. This is a very nice printed piece. I'm sure this is expensive though. And then this is also a Beauty and the Beast printed a panel, clear panel. And they made stickers, of course. Inside had a stained glass sticker if you're going for a more evil stained glass. What else? Like I said, if you wanted to change up the look, you could use different designs here. If you wanted it larger, you could do the same technique, but you'd have to figure out something to do differently with these fence pieces, because that's why this one had to work with these. You've got these arches too, just to change up the look a little bit. To me, this was like the more classic look. Now, of course, it's Lego, so there's multiple different ways you can do it. Infinite possibilities. That's just how I wanted it to look, and so that's what I did. I started with that fence piece, and that's what kind of controlled everything else and forced the sizes and how you put it all together. Thank you so much to YouTube commenter Tiffany G for suggesting we do this. I enjoy sharing this stuff. I enjoy learning new techniques and showing people how we do the things we do. Do you guys want to see more? Do you want me to make this a series? We have Mock Master Mark and John and Mock Mistress Angie to share us some of their techniques. So what do you guys want to see? Have you guys made your own stained glass? Is there a method you've used that's different, maybe uses less pieces? I would love to know. And what do you want to see next? Is there a specific technique that you want us to share with you guys? Let us know down in the comments. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, thank you. We'll see you soon.